All right. All right, people. Welcome to my little humble abode in downtown. Oh, it's not downtown. In Philadelphia, my little slice of the world here. My name's Doug. I'm an Army vet. I'm 66 years old. I live in Philadelphia, as you may have inferred by what I said in the beginning. Welcome, everybody. If I do not acknowledge you when you first come on, I apologize. I'm using an app called StreamYard, which instead of talking to a 5-inch screen on my phone, I'm talking to like a 3-inch screen now. So it's even harder to see, especially for an old guy like me. But anyway, let's get to it. So, a little bit about me. I'm a 66-year-old grandfather, father, like I said, an Army vet. And I've been around the world a couple times, around the block a couple times, not around the world, around the block a couple times. And I've seen some things, I've done some things. Um, And I made a lot of financial mistakes in my life, more than I want to admit. But hey, I'm a stand up guy. I own my mistakes because at the end of the day, you can, a lot of people blame this, that, the economy, whatever, for their financial situation. But in reality, all these things were decisions that I made. All why why I'm in the situation I'm in is because of decisions I made in the past, and I'm hoping by sharing this with people that they don't make the same mistakes I did. Now, I don't know how old you are. You may be in your 40s, 50s, you may be in your 30s. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. This story applies to everyone. Okay. Over my lifetime, I've worked construction, pizza delivery. I've done all kinds of different things, all legal, of course. But you name it, I probably tried it once or twice. I tried affiliate marketing. I tried the whole MLM thing, and those things just weren't for me. And now I'm driving rideshare 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, because I'm in a situation again that I put myself in. I get it. I'm not, I'm not stupid. I just, well, I did some stupid things, but that doesn't mean I'm stupid. I just, you know, you see a shiny object and sometimes you grab it and then sometimes it's not the best thing. But so as I'm going on my story, I'm trying to give you a little background here. I grew up in Upper Bucks County, Pennsylvania. No one knows where that is, I'm sure. Well, maybe a couple of people. That's just nonsense part of the story. But anyway, growing up, I couldn't wait to be 18, and then when I got to be 18, I joined the army, and that was when I got my first foray into the credit thing. I was in Augusta, Georgia, walking down the street. It's Mother's Day's coming up, and this guy comes out. He's standing out front of his jewelry store, and he's looking for these young soldiers walking through town because he knows there's a ton of them there. Approaches me, he says, "Hey, I got this beautiful brooch. You can have this for," I don't even know how much it was, but he tells me the price. I'm like, well, I said, I don't have that money. And he goes, well, we can finance it, blah, blah, blah. So they financed it and sent the thing to my mother for Mother's Day. She loved it, of course. It's from me, her favorite son. She had 3 sons. I can't say that I was a favorite or not, but again, that doesn't really matter. So I got stationed in Germany like a month and a half later, 2 months later. Totally forgot about this deal that I made with them. I had made one payment, and I'm in Germany now. So they have to, they're sending the bills or the invoices to my address in Fort Gordon, Georgia, when in Germany. So it took a few months to get till they figured out how to get my mail to me because it's government stuff. So nothing's ever quick there. So anyway, got out of the army. I got that straightened out, fixed my credit. Did pretty good when I got out of the army. I couldn't wait. I got this credit card. I applied for a credit card and got it. It was like a $500 limit. And man, I was excited because I thought, even though I was a soldier, you know, I thought now I really made it. I have a credit card now. And what did I do? I took my friends out to dinner. I went and bought gas with it. Things that you should be paying cash for, or maybe shouldn't even be doing. Buying $200 dinners when you got a $500 credit card. But I didn't even have a job at the time because when I got out of the service, the job that I thought I was going to have didn't really appear. So I waited. I looked for something, and eventually I took a job that I had to just take something because you got to make money, right? So I just took whatever job came up, which was a moving company, but we don't have to go there. Suffice it to say, okay, I got my credit card, racked up that, all of a sudden, bang, I was maxed out. Okay, so maxed out on $500 credit card is not that bad. Okay, and I paid it down and got it down to a certain amount. And then they bumped up my credit limit. So boom, boom, boom. I bought more stuff. What did I buy? Nothing that I can show for it. It's frivolous stuff. Again, dinners, gas, maybe went to the movies, stuff that you're not supposed to use. Credit can be useful if you use it for things like emergencies. Okay, credit cards I'm talking about. Now there's also things like buying a home. You get, that's good to have credit, to buy the home, because otherwise you got to wait 30 years probably to buy the home unless you hit the lottery or something, which how many people actually do that? Not too many. But anyway, so over the years, I got a couple credit cards here, got myself a little deeper into credit card debt, as a lot of people do. And the credit card companies, they're smart because they take advantage of people like me. Again, I'm not trying to tell you I'm some financial guru. I'm far from that. But I learned a lot of lessons in my life. This one really got me, though. They sent me a credit card and says, transfer your balance to this credit card and you'll get 0% interest for 6 months. Okay, so like, oh, cool. And they send you like 3 or 4 checks in with that. So you can, instead of calling your credit card company and having to transfer it over, you just write a check to your existing credit card company, or the one that has the balance on it, and then it switches over to the balance to the other credit card. And that would be all well and good if you just left it alone. But me, all of a sudden, that credit card that I was using didn't have any balance on it. So boom, 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 racked it up. I got into such a situation, I saved some of those checks. And what I was doing, instead of paying the minimum balance on these credit cards, and I know you're probably going to laugh at me because this is probably the stupidest thing you could ever do. All I was doing was taking a check from this credit card, paying that one, which wasn't really paying it. It's just making a lateral move, just pushing it down, just basically kicking the can down the road a little farther. All right. Then all of a sudden I found, before I know it, I had, I don't know, $28,000 or something like that in credit card debt. And I'm not proud of this, again, but I own it. I filed for bankruptcy because it was an easy way out. Okay. Not a good thing, but an easy way out. And I'll admit, I've done some dumb things in my life, but I thought, well, that'll get me back on the track. I'll get back in the good graces eventually, because that bankruptcy affects your credit, I think, for 7 to 10 years or something. But the day I got back from bankruptcy court, in the mail, I had 3 or 4 credit card offers saying, we know you've just, well, this is paraphrasing, we know you've just filed for bankruptcy, but here's a credit card to help get your credit back on track. And it was like a $200 limit or something. And I was like, I tore them up, threw them away for the first couple times. Then I applied for, because I figured, let me get credit established again. Okay, and that was okay for a while, because the $200 limit was easy to keep, in check. But next thing you know, something comes up. Well, And we all want, I don't know, the credit card thing is kind of like you want instant gratification. So what you do, you see something you want, don't have the money for it, but you just whip out that little plastic card, boom, you got it. Instead of saving, like if it was a $200 item, instead of saving for 200 bucks for a couple of weeks or a few weeks, however long it took, you want instant gratification. You slide that credit card, boom, you got whatever you want. Then that bill comes in. Again, $200, not that hard to handle. You start getting up into the thousands, and then you start, if you miss a payment, oh my gosh, forget about it. But again, these banks and credit card companies know what they're doing. And I know they're in the business to make money, and I know we need to be smarter as people, but they take advantage of people. They make things sound so good, and if you carry a $20,000 credit card balance on your credit card, you only pay minimum payments, you'll pay double, triple that if you only make minimum payments. And plus, it'll take you forever. It'll take you as long as it does to pay off your house. If you take a 30-year mortgage on your house, about that. I mean, things could vary. Maybe you'll make extra payments or something, but still, that's a long time to be paying something. $20,000, you end up paying 60,000 maybe on $20,000, plus all the interest. I mean, the interest you paid before. It's just crazy. And buying a home, again, who wants to wait 30 years to buy a home? And you can get one if your credit's good. You can get a house, sure. And if you do the 30-year mortgage, you'll probably pay double, maybe even more than what the house is actually worth by the time you're done, with a 30-year mortgage. Unless, again, you start making more payments and stuff, which, is good, if you can do that. But a lot of people, barely can make it by with their mortgage payments and stuff. And for me, I, again, found myself into a little trouble. So what did I do? I refinanced my house so I could pay for the things that I didn't really need to buy. But you wipe your credit cards clean, right? You all of a sudden that debt gone. It's not really gone. It's just piled onto your mortgage. You're paying over 30 years. You're paying it. So it just, you're not really getting ahead is my point. And they get, there's these debt consolidation loans, and they all sound good. But all you're really doing, again, is kicking that can a little farther down the road. You're not really solving a problem. If you're going to solve the problem, you have to start paying that debt off and stop pushing it off. And that was a tough lesson for me to learn, and, sometimes it takes a little to get me going, to get that brain working, but it's working now. I mean, I'm 66 years old. You think I'd have been working before, but, most people figure it out, but I don't know about most people. But all I know is I got myself into some financial troubles, and I didn't plan for my future either. And that's another bad thing. You need to plan for your future. Put money away, 10%, 15%, whatever it is. Now, if you're in your 50s or later, that may not actually get you to a good retirement number, but at least you'll have something. If you're finding yourself short of retirement, like I am, all is not lost. And you don't necessarily have to take on another job to catch up, to make those payments, to get yourself some kind of retirement plan. Now, getting another job seems like, something you could do. I did it. I worked 2 jobs for 22 years, over 22 years. And took a lot out of me. It took me away from my family. And that was the worst thing. Physically, I figured I'll recover from that. But missing time with my family, you can't get that back. You can build your muscle back up. You can build your stamina back up. But you can't get that time back. I don't care what you do. Even if you sell your soul to the devil, that ain't going to happen. You know, and I'm certainly not suggesting anybody do that. So again, so as my life went on, you know, I managed to finagle my way through, and I'm in my mid 60s. I had, I thought I had a pretty good life, but in reality, I was just hanging on, flying by the seat of my pants as I always had. And it didn't really hit me until my girlfriend, the love of my life, said, I just don't love you like that. I don't love you like you love me. I love you like a best friend. And that was like a punch in the gut with a razor blade stuck to it. I mean, that hurt. But took a look in the mirror and I finally saw what she saw. I don't know if I had rose-colored glasses on or not, but when I looked in the mirror, those rose-colored glasses weren't in effect anymore. They weren't working anymore. So, being the situation I was in, again, working long hours as a rideshare driver, barely making ends meet, and basically living on a shoestring. And all it takes sometimes is one thing to go wrong, and bam, your whole world can be upset. Now, of course, I was upset, but my world was, I mean, I knew I could still salvage it, but I needed to find something to help me get out of the financial mess I was in. I looked around and I thought, okay, well, I can get a job at maybe, one of those building supply stores. I don't want to mention them by name, but you know who I'm talking about. There's two major ones. But I thought, okay, that's even taking more time. If I'm already working 6 days a week, then I got to work another day and then squeeze in some more hours at night so they'll hire me, because they're not just going to hire you to work a couple, 4 hours a week. They want you to work a few more hours than that. And the pay, what was it going to pay? So I started looking online. Found a program that really intrigued me. Why? Because I've seen affiliate marketing things where you get, whatever, 15, 20%. I've seen the MLM thing where you go bug your family and friends and you get 3 people and they get 3 people, and you buy overpriced goods. You get on an auto ship for every month. So they want to make sure you have the money, that at least they're getting some money from you while you're trying to build a downline. Tell you what, that's more of a pain in the what than anything in the world. So again, I was looking around, just kind of sniffing. Somebody showed me this program, this Legacy Builders program is what it's called, and you may have heard of it. I mean, many people have. I had, and I kind of pushed it aside because I thought, digital marketing. What do I know about that? I mean, I barely even know what it means. Algorithms and funnels and all that stuff. Who the heck knows what that is? I mean, and I thought it's too complicated for a guy like me. That's not going to work. I can't do that. But as I looked at it more, the thing about it is everybody says, well, it's just a course. And that's not true. It's you're buying a business, okay? And it's a course also. You're learning, well, and you're learning to set up a business. You're getting products already made that are already made for you, a website that's already built for you. You get master resale rights, and it's an automated business. Now, you have to set up the payment gateways, the sales funnels, and the email automations, but they show you how to do it. They already have the pre-made emails, and all you have to do is tweak them to fit your brand, yourself, because you don't want your emails sounding like everybody else's emails. So, but they're already there. The body's there, the structure's there. You just got to put them in your words and make them yours. And the mentoring, the video, you're being taught by video. So if you miss something, you can go back and look at it. But a great thing about this program is, I don't know if any other programs have this because I haven't obviously seen every program, but there's live mentoring every week. So, anybody, if you know anything about technology at all, technology changes like that. It's like boom, boom. I mean, one thing comes out one day and it's obsolete 2 days later because as soon as somebody makes something or improves something, somebody else or even that same person is trying to improve on that. So they just keep building and building, and they just keep boom, 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 knocking it out. That's why every few months you keep seeing, or however long it is, I don't know how many iPhones there are now, but you keep seeing these new iPhones come out, boom, 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 because they get one, but they're never satisfied with that. They got to keep trying to improve it. So you got iPhone, whatever, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Who knows what they're up to by now? I have the iPhone 15 Pro Max for whatever that's worth, um, but so as I talk to people about this digital marketing business and how it's helped a lot of people find their way out of their financial struggles, I hear words like, I can't afford it. I can't afford to do something like that. Yet they'll drop $1,000 on a new phone. And then some people will go, well, if you go to such and such carrier, I'm not going to name names, they give you a phone. Nobody's giving you a phone, okay? And if you don't believe me, go ahead, make a deal with that company and get your free phone and then tell them you want to switch carriers. And they're going to say, that's fine, but you got to pay for the rest of the phone because you're paying for that phone month by month. They're not giving you anything. Come on. How could they afford to do that? Think about it. What if 1 million people signed up for them and they had to give away 1 million free $1,000 phones? Now they wouldn't cost them $1,000, but they would get a bulk price, I'm sure, but still. Don't be ridiculous. They're not giving you anything. No one's giving things like that away. But I just find it funny that people will drop that grand on a new phone or a new TV, but when it comes to investing in something that can help them, help improve their lives, they balk. They oh, there's something wrong. That this can't be. It's a sham. I can't say the other word that rhymes with that because some platforms, when I say that word, I don't know if it's just me. I think it is because I hear other people say it. Flag my videos for that. So I'm not going to say that word, but you know what I'm saying. People think it's a sham, a scheme. Some people think some people actually told me to my face, it's a pyramid scheme. You have to recruit people. It's multi-level marketing. It's none of that. This Legacy Builder program is your business. When you buy it, you pay for one price, a one-time payment for the business, and you have to pay an extra fee for the website, but it's already done for you. You can spend your hard-earned money, go take a digital marketing course somewhere, and then if maybe you have products already made for you to sell, but then you need to build a website. So you can spend that time studying digital marketing and building your website and putting all those things together and selling your products. Or you can go with the program, the Legacy Builders program. You get the products to sell, the website's already built for you. And like I said, all you have to do is make the connection. You set up the payment gateways, the sales funnels, and the automations. And again, you got to tweak the email some, but it saves you a heck of a lot of work. And that will help you give you more time to actually work on your actual business. And if you still think that Legacy Builders is some kind of scheme or sham or a joke or whatever, because I know there's some people have tried it and for whatever reason they couldn't make it work and they probably gave up. I know a lot of people do that. It can be frustrating when something's not working. But I'll give you a prime example. Well, first of all, let me tell you, if this program is a scheme or a sham or whatever you want to call it, then there wouldn't be over 100 six-figure earners and 19 self-made millionaires built from just using this same product. Same product I'm talking about, the Legacy Builders Program. And there's also many more people who have been able to replace their income from their regular jobs and just do this business. Maybe they haven't made it to six figures yet, but they're still doing pretty well. Now, I would show you testimonials from them, but I don't have any printed out right now. But I can. If you want to see some, just let me know. I'll show you anything you want to see. But let me tell you something. If you want to talk about, if this is such a great system, how come, why are people saying it's a sham or a scheme or whatever thing? Some people just can't make it work for whatever reason. Maybe some people can't follow instructions. And I'll tell you something. Here's a prime example of what I'm talking about. I used to work for a national, I'm not going to say the name, a national pizza chain, a delivery. I was a delivery guy for the national pizza chain for over 22 years, 3 different locations. But I saw many people come in, managers, owners, and such. Some people could do it, some people couldn't. And here's the thing: if you want to buy a franchise for that, excuse me, for that company, you can't just walk into corporate headquarters, slap down the money for the store, and say, "Here, I want to buy a franchise. I want a store." I'm sure it's not just that chain, but that's the only one I'm really familiar with that well into it. I worked for another one for a little bit, and they were similar as far as operations go. So I imagine all the bigger, probably most companies operate in this way now. But anyway, so to succeed, so to make sure they have the right candidate for their franchise, so for somebody to buy the franchise, excuse me, allergies they used to go in my nose, now they go to my throat. Anyway, so in order for them to consider you for a franchise, you have to prove that you can operate one of their stores successfully. And they have a certain protocol they go by. There's things you got to do step by step. Much like the Legacy Builder Program is step by step, this is the same thing. Okay? And people come in and they say, okay, and I believe you have a year. I think they give you a year to prove that you can operate a successful store through their one of their franchise stores. And it's a store that's already been established, okay? So I worked at 3 of them, and all 3 of the ones that I worked at were, for their areas, were successful. I mean, you're not going to get a $100,000 profit store in an area that just doesn't have that much business. But in those areas, the demographics and everything and the population, they were successful. And I've seen a lot of people come in and they couldn't do it. They tried. Boom, they were done because they didn't follow the protocol. They thought, well, this seems kind of stupid. Let me do it my way. Because you got to order your food ahead of time. And what they do, you go by the last week's food order. How much did you sell? That's how you figure out how much more to order for that week. Now you might mess up by a little bit, percentage wise, but they show you exactly what to do. Just like Legacy Builder Program, they show you exactly what to do. If you follow the instructions for the pizza chain, if those people would have followed the instructions as laid out, they probably would have been successful. Some people just got burned out they got all messed up because sometimes mentally they couldn't handle it. Some people can't handle stress as well as others, and everybody gets stressed out. I get that. I mean, I get it too. I mean, some days I just, I want to pull my hair out. I mean, there's not much left, but it's just, it's a lot of personalities. And I'm going to tell you this, digital marketing isn't for everybody. Okay, but anybody can do it if they put your mind to it. If you have the right mental capacity, if you have the right mindset, you can do it. Okay, no matter what your age, because I've seen people in this community, they're in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. They're making some bank, to use the, I don't even know if that's probably old school now, but that's what they used to say. I don't know. But anyway, my whole point is, no matter how good you lay it out, some people just can't make it work. Whether it's the pizza chain or the digital marketing. But one thing I will tell you is, if you're struggling and you're looking for a way to to stop trading your time for money, Legacy Builders is a good way to go. Now, I can't promise you anything, any kind of results, because that would be very, let me say, let's just say, here's the thing. I can't promise you anything because I don't know what kind of effort you're going to put in. I don't know you. I would like to say that everybody can do this and succeed. And basically, everybody could if everybody puts in the effort and tries harder. Now, again, this is not, I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm not saying anything like that. So don't get your panties in a bunch and think that I'm saying, oh, he just said you can make, you can make that much money. You can replace your current income. You can build a retirement plan with this program. You can do it. And I'm telling you, I don't know what the other programs are like, but I've never seen one where you're have the ability to earn while you're learning. You don't need to know everything about digital marketing to make this program work. They show you and teach you the things that you need to know about digital marketing. You'll pick up other things along the way, believe me. It's built and it's designed for the beginner. Okay? And I've seen, like I said, I've seen far too many people earning income. I don't know if I can say the making money part. I just said it anyway, because again, some phrases and stuff are just, they look at it like, oh, but again, I am not in any way, shape, or form guaranteeing that if you buy this program that you will succeed. I am telling you what's possible. And that's all I'm doing. I know what's possible because I see it working for other people. Now, I will tell you this, when I first started, and another another lesson for everybody. I thought I knew better. Okay? Well, not necessarily in the beginning. In the beginning, I bought in, there's 4 levels you can buy in at: 100, 300, 600, and 900. So if you buy in at the $300 level, you can only sell the $300 or the $100 program. If you buy in at the highest level, the 900, you can buy all 4. You can sell all 4 programs. What I did, I bought in at the $300 level. But after a little bit, I thought, you know what? Why not just spend the extra 600 and give myself the best opportunity? That way I have 4 income streams instead of just 2. And when I upgraded your website, they have to give you a new website. You have to upgrade your website too, because now you have two new products to go to. So when I did that, somewhere in the transformation, I messed up my emails, and again, that's on me. I didn't pay attention enough. I just thought everything was copacetic. I thought I knew what I was doing, and I didn't go watch the video. I just went and did it on my own, and I messed it up. So for I don't know how many months it was, luckily one of my friends, we were priming each other's emails, which is, if I'm sure everybody knows what that means, but if you don't know what that means, it means you go into, like, I had a friends of mine sign up into my email list, and make sure that my emails were going to their inbox and then having them respond. So that way, the set different email companies or whatever you call them, Gmail and et cetera, et cetera, see that your email address or your emails shouldn't go to spam, so they'll send them to the proper inbox. And some still go to spam for whatever reason, but or the promotions. Sometimes they go to promotions, again for whatever reason. But in the process of doing that, my friend clicked on one of my emails because in the emails are the links to purchase the program. And she clicked on it. She goes, your link in your emails is messed up. And so I was like, really? What do you mean? So I went in and looked, and I sent one to myself, and I was like, oh, I mean, I don't know how many sales I lost because of that, but what I do know is I didn't give up. I kept moving on. And then they came out with Legacy Builders 2.0, and I thought, okay, this is perfect. I'm in reboot mode now. So boom, back in March, total reboot. And I'm been marching on every day. Yes, to use that, what do you call that little pun or whatever? I don't know the proper, I'm just a guy. What do you want from me? But so that's my story. If you find yourself struggling, you're not alone. In fact, let me throw this at you. I just read recently, and I've mentioned it in a few videos, so if you heard this before, you may have heard it from me. Almost half of all households, working age households in this country, have little or no retirement plan. And that, my friend, is very sad. When I say working age, I'm saying 25 to 64. Okay? That's pretty sad. Now, if you're in the younger part of that, that's not too bad because you still got years to build it up. But if you're up, up in your 40s and 50s, and your retirement plan ain't looking so hot, you might want to start thinking about other ways, or at least putting some money away somehow, some way. Okay, I'm not here selling pipe dreams. I'm just telling you again what's possible. And again, just to go over this, just want to reiterate how this program, it's done. It's step by step. All you do, you show up every day, you follow the steps. They show you how to do everything. You get the products to sell. You got the website that's already built for you. You got to make the right connections, but they show you how to do it. There's live trainings every week. That way you get to keep up with what's new in the digital marketing world. Otherwise, the videos are great, but something could come out tomorrow and it won't be on the video, obviously. But if you plug into the training, you can talk about that. You can ask questions about that. The people that are doing the live trainings and the mentoring and all these things are people who are already succeeding at this business. Who else would you want to learn from, right? Anyway, my name's Doug. I'm a 66-year-old Army vet. If you like what I'm saying, I don't see too many people in here. Oh, there's somebody here. Hey, how you doing? I'm about closing this thing out, though. So I appreciate you showing up. If you like what you've seen, if you like what you heard, why not check out my channel and like and subscribe, because I could use all the help I can get. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I will get to them. I promise you, I read every comment and I will respond in due time. Now, I'm pressed for time a lot of times because I do work rideshare 10 hours a day, usually 6 days a week. Sunday's my day off, if you want to call it that. I'm not really off. I just concentrate more on my business, go to church, do my thing, maybe even sneak in a nap or two, which doesn't happen during the week, I got to tell you. But I'm working on something good here. I'm building something for my future. I'm building myself a legacy. And yes, I said that on purpose because that's what I'm doing. Anyway, If this video hit anything I said in this, not this video, in this live hits home for you, if you are a veteran over 50 and you find yourself struggling, why not check out the blueprint? It's in my bio, or you can go to www.start-freshnow.com and I will send you this. I know it's backwards, but hey, that's the way it is. Anyway, it's a PDF. It'll come in PDF form. I printed it out. It's about 8 pages long. The printing's not real big. I mean, the printing's pretty large, so it's not like fine print. It'll take you about 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you, Pixel, for acknowledging me. I appreciate you, and thank you for showing up. But anyway, I'll send you the PDF version of this guide, which just shows you, it lays out exactly what the Legacy Builders program is. And you can decide for yourself if it's for you or not. Again, it's not for everybody. It's built for the beginner. And anybody can do this. But again, it's not for everybody. Some people, listen, there's no one thing, no one business, no one job, no whatever that everybody is going to like or be able to perform at. But I'm just here to share information with you. If you want to see this guide in person, I can email it to you. All you got to do is hit the link in my bio or go to www.start-freshnow.com and I'll send it right to you. Check it out. Again, I don't know if it's for you or not. I can't tell you that. Only you can decide that because you're you. I don't know you. I know me. I know that it's working for me. It fits into my lifestyle and it fits into what I'm trying to do, which is build a legacy, not only for myself, but for my daughter and for my 3 grandchildren and the rest of my family too. I love you all for showing up. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll see you on my next live, which hopefully I'll be doing these more regularly if anybody's really interested. I hope you are. Again, please like and subscribe if you see anything in this video that attracts your attention. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. Contact me and go to my channel. Watch some of my videos. Maybe you'll see one of those you like. And maybe if you're not a veteran over 50, or you don't have to be a veteran. If you're over 50, or if you're struggling in one way or another, or if you know somebody who is that could use some help, that could use, maybe want to check out this program, send them my way. I'll be glad to send them a copy of the blueprint that I have. And again, it's not for everybody, but a lot of people are making this work. I hope you all have a great weekend. Please take care of yourselves. I love you all. Peace out. I'm going home. Well, actually, I'm home. I'm out of here.